What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd make this up for the start and use this as a bit of a distraction from the cold to intro the video in the cold pod, which is my second ever time in it. Yesterday was the first. Didn't actually film it on Wednesday afternoon because I just got distracted by things. I needed to get over to Kelly's, finish the vlog, and just, yeah, things were just taking too long. But second ever exposure, which is not as bad as it is once you're in. It's been 90 seconds so far. Yesterday I lasted 7 minutes, which for a first one's not too bad. But yeah, I just need to get used to the cold. I want to improve my cold exposure, or my, like, how I react in the cold. Normally I just complain, but yeah, this isn't too bad. Oh, actually, yeah, the rest of the lamb's telling me, yeah, positive PMA, positive last shoot. This isn't too bad. Odin's ran into the conservatory and he's watching me from the warmth. I should have my camera to, he's probably thinking I'm absolutely crazy, but yeah, this is going to be the daily start before I start the night. But yeah, I'm going to chill here for a minute or two, no pun intended, and then head inside, get warm and start the day. Oh my god, it's cold. Another thing I'm trying to do to improve my exposure to the cold is, or they suggest, is to dry off naturally and let your body reheat itself. Again, you get, I think, a bit more of a metabolic benefit that way, although I'm not quite there yet, and I've gone for sort of I'm not fully towel dry. I just stuck the, I don't know what you call this, house coat dressing gown, let me know what you call it, just stuck this on because I didn't want to drip throughout the house, and I'm still sort of wet underneath, still, obviously all the hair just holds water, but the only downside to that is because of the Reynards, my fingers feel frozen, so any making breakfast then or any typing and using the phone just takes forever. I literally, like, this is that's how fast I can move them. No, this is not slowed down, so it takes a while for them to recover. They are, you can see there, nice and blue, but feeling good. Feeling definitely a bit more awake, almost fully dry, but joints still feel cold. But right now I'm gonna have this breakfast so I can get a little bit warmer, finish off the previous vlog, and then decide what I'm going to train today, which I've got an idea on, but I'm not too sure yet. 45 minutes later than planned, but we are finally heading to the gym. I just can't leave things unfinished once I start them. Well, some things I can, but on vlogs and editing I can't just get into rhythm editing and just can't leave things unfinished. So that last vlog is now finished and ready to export and be uploaded. And I've also decided what I'm going to do today for training, and that is attempt 24.2, which was announced last night. Now, if you don't know what that is a 20-minute AMRAP of a 300-meter row, 10 deadlifts at I think 83 kilos, and 50 double unders. Now, just like 24.1, double unders are a movement I have not done for probably 2 years. So I'm expecting some DOMs in my calves, but it shouldn't be too bad since I've increased my running volume in that time. So that's going to be fun. And then after that, I'm going to do an extra bit of conditioning. For that I use Wadwell. I go wadwell.com, search for sort of a Hyrox kind of Metcon, if you like, and just do that. There's two I'm going to choose from. I'll put them both on screen and you'll probably see which one I decide to do depending on how I feel after 24.1. And that's going to be today's session. So 2 conditioning pieces, shouldn't be too long. I reckon I'll be done within an hour. Nice short sharp session, and then I'll be home for lunch and then off to work for the afternoon and evening. Now, I'm not in the open, nor do I train CrossFit, but seeing as I can do all the movements involved, and these Friday sessions for now are just being about building my conditioning, I thought I'd give 24.2 a go. Although I think this will be the last one I try this year, because as soon as they add in any gymnastics or Olympic weighting movements, that's me out because of my shoulder. The plan going into this was just take things nice and steady with the goal of keeping the round under 3 minutes, with the aim of at least 5 or 6 rounds. For the row, the aim was to row around the 150-155 pace, just anything under 2 minutes really, and use it as a recovery for future rounds, which I'm pleased to say I managed to keep throughout. For the deadlifts, I usually avoid mixed grip, even the higher up stuff, but today I had to bite the bullet and concede to it using it today, as trying to chalk up and use hook grip for them was out of the question, as my bag of chalk is just dust at the minute and I didn't want to make a mess, and my hands are just very sweaty after the row anyway. Just got rid of all the chalk that I'd used. I did try to alter the mixed grip because I have a weird OCD about the sides being balanced, so if I do, even when I'm downwind when I'm coaching, I've got to do the same reps on one side. but that's just me being weird. But that was scrapped after the second round because it just felt too weird. And I was actually quite surprised by how well I did on the dumbbell unders. I've not done any for almost 2 years. They just sort of came back to me straight away, and actually felt like the best double unders I've managed to do, going unbroken on the majority of rounds. I don't know if this would help anyone, but to help make larger sets easier, I just counted 25 twice, and that seemed to not make it seem so bad, breaking down to smaller sets. However, I did end up breaking them into 2 sets and taking a couple of seconds from round 4 onwards, as like I said last week, I'm just not used to this style of training. But all in all, it was actually a very enjoyable session. Although my lower back begs to differ, as it wasn't fully recovered from Monday's attempt at 24.1, and also my calves, which at the time of recording this voiceover are in agony, making walking very painful. Yeah, so I ended up finishing with 6 rounds and 22 double unders, so pretty much what I expected. And I'll have to wait until the next announcement to see if I can give that one a go too, but I will definitely be doing more workouts like this in the future. Oh, those sessions always feel much worse during than they do afterwards. I feel like I'm pretty much fully recovered now. But right now is when I put my coaching head on and do what I need to do and not go and do what I want to do, and would be much more enjoyable. Because if I just kept doing that, I wouldn't get any better at what I need to get better at. Just not make much progress, if that makes sense. It made sense in my head rather than words, because I struggle with getting the thoughts out into words. If that makes any sense. So I'm going for the High Rocks Workout Week Thompson, I believe, which is 8 rounds of 20 meter sled push and 20 walking lunge or 25 meter sled push to lunge. But I'm going to swap that for 4 to 5 rounds of the sled and lunge and chucking farmers carries instead of the rest. Because like I said in the last video, I want to turn this into a strength and I've not got much time. So I'm going to mash out 4 to 5 rounds, and if there's a little bit of time, a minute or two, squeeze in some arm work, because like Hunter McIntyre always says, big arms win races, or bigger biceps win races rather. Even though I just said I felt recovered, my body definitely wasn't, as this was more of a struggle than I thought it would be. The last time I used a sled, I'm sure I could get my shoulders through and do that kind of reverse grip sled push I do, but I couldn't today, which made for a nice surprise. I gained some size since last time, but also frustrating I couldn't quite do the regular grip I like. For the lunges, I tried something a bit different and stayed a bit low to the ground between reps. Not standing up fully between reps to see what kind of difference that made. I can't quite remember the rules and if that's allowed in High Rocks, but certainly another variation to train. Just plain old farmers carries, nothing different you can really do with them. I ended up doing 4 rounds as I started getting sluggish with reps, and like I've previously said, I feel there's no point pushing through, especially at this point in training, as I feel I don't get as much of a benefit out of it, rather than force myself to finish once I've hit that wall. And you should know by now, you can't finish a Friday session without some arm work. So on the cable machine, just going for 2 sets of max reps on cable press downs using the V-bar, and just some rope hammer curls just for the biceps and also like the forearms fit, so still training that grip, so still a bit of specific work in there. I really could have done with those extra 45 minutes that I not wasted this morning, but I spent too long editing, so that was like a pit stop back home to chuck some food down, take over for a little walk and then head to work. We are here just in time. But yeah, I feel like my fitness is really starting to improve since starting this whole High Rocks training. I feel like last year doing that I would have absolutely just died and gone to bits, but I feel like I'm starting to actually mature in my training and just stick with what I'm capable of. It's just gonna stay still. So I'll see you in the next one on Monday. Tomorrow is going to be a run. I'm just going to follow whatever Garmin says. I always click on the run, so like for example today I'm just going to watch these charged as always, run out the battery. But next one's back to the full body session on Monday with some conditioning, depending on, I haven't checked the rotor whether I'm going to be training here in work or over at Pure Gym, so I can get in some rowing and ski work done. But yeah, I will see you all there and whatever I decide to do. Peace.